Alarms tore through the ship before I even opened my eyes. Red light spilled across the walls of my cabin, and the floor shook so hard my boots slid off the shelf beside my bed. I grabbed them anyway and ran, because on a ship like mine, a few seconds could be the difference between everyone living and everyone dying. My name is Laura Bennett, and I am the captain of the Solace, a small human transport ship that was never built for war. We were 3 days off course, drifting through a stretch of space that belonged to the Threll, a species that had made it very clear, many times, that humans were not welcome near their home planet. They thought we were weak. They thought we panicked too easily, trusted too easily, and broke too easily under pressure. I used to think they might be right. That night, I found out they were not. I reached the bridge just as Daniel Cross, my pilot, was fighting the controls with both hands. Sparks fell from a panel above his head, and the front window showed nothing but the swirling dark of open space, and one massive shape blocking out the stars ahead of us. "We hit a debris field," Daniel said, his voice tight. "Something pulled us in. I think it's a gravity trap." "A trap built by who?" I asked, though part of me already knew. "Threll," said Amelia Frost, my engineer, stepping in from the side hatch with a burn mark on her sleeve. "Their border markers are still active. We drifted past 3 of them before the systems even flagged it. The pull is getting stronger. If we don't break free soon, we're going straight into their home system. That was the last place any human ship was supposed to go. Not because of a written law, but because of an old, unspoken agreement built out of fear. 10 years earlier, a small conflict between our people and theirs had ended badly for everyone. And since then, the Threll had drawn an invisible line around their homeworld that no human ship had ever crossed and returned from. "Options," I said, because panic never solved anything, and I needed my crew thinking, not shaking. "Engines are at half power," Amelia said. "I can maybe get us 30% more if I bypass the cooling system, but that risks a full shutdown." "Do it," I said. "Daniel, hold our angle. If we can't break the pull, I want to at least control how we go in." Nathan Pierce, my communications officer, called out from behind me. "Captain, we're inside their detection range. They already see us." The silence that followed felt heavier than the shaking ship around us. A few seconds later, a voice came through our system, low and sharp, speaking in careful, accented words. "Human vessel, you have entered forbidden space. Explain yourselves before we are forced to act." I stepped toward the comm panel, steadying my breath before I spoke. "This is Captain Laura Bennett of the transport ship Solace. We did not choose this course. Our ship was pulled off route by a gravity trap near your border markers. We are not here to threaten you. We need help getting free before we lose control completely." There was a pause, long enough that I began to wonder if they would even answer. "Humans do not enter Threll space without punishment," the voice said. "This is known. This is expected." "Then let it be known that this human captain is asking, not attacking," I said. "You can watch our engines, you can send ships to surround us, but if we crash into that field because your people refuse to listen, that will not be our failure, it will be yours." Another pause, shorter this time. Then the connection cut, and 3 shapes broke away from the darkness ahead of us, sleek and fast, cutting through space like blades. They surrounded the Solace within seconds, closing in tighter than any escort I had ever seen. "They're pulling alongside," Daniel said. "I think they're trying to guide us, not destroy us. Or they're making sure we don't try anything," Amelia said, gripping the edge of her station as the ship jolted again. The gravity trap fought us the entire way, dragging the Solace deeper into the pull, no matter how hard Daniel worked the controls. My chest tightened with every shake of the hull, every flicker of the lights, every warning tone that filled the bridge. I kept my voice calm anyway, because my crew needed to see that calm, even if I did not fully feel it. "Steady," I said. "We hold the line. We do not fight them. We do not run. We just survive this." The escort ships guided us through a narrow channel between broken chunks of rock and metal, remains of old wreckage that told me other ships had not been so lucky in this same field. My hand stayed steady on the edge of the console, even as my mind ran through every terrible outcome waiting for us on the other side. Then, without warning, the pull released. The ship lurched forward, freed from the trap, and the shaking stopped so suddenly that the silence felt strange after everything before it. Ahead of us, filling the entire window, was a planet unlike anything I had seen in any briefing. Silver oceans stretched beneath thick clouds, and lights from massive cities glowed along the coastlines. This was Threll Prime, the one place no human ship had ever entered and returned from. "Captain," Nathan said quietly, "they're requesting we land. Guided descent. No weapons drawn." I looked at my crew, all of them pale, all of them exhausted, all of them looking at me for the next decision. "Take us down," I said. The landing was smooth, guided the entire way by our escort, until the Solace rested on a wide stone platform, surrounded by towers taller than anything on Earth. When the doors opened, a small group of Threll officials stood waiting, led by a tall figure with sharp features and deep, watchful eyes. I walked down the ramp first, because if anyone was going to face them, it needed to be me. "I am Captain Laura Bennett," I said. "My crew and I did not come here by choice. We were pulled in by a gravity trap near your border. I am asking for safe passage out, and nothing more." The leader studied me for a long moment before speaking. "I am Kestra Vol, commander of this outpost. Your kind is known to bring conflict wherever you travel. Yet you did not fight our escort ships. You did not resist our guidance. Explain this." "Because fighting would have destroyed my ship and my crew," I said. "I did not come here to prove anything about my species. I came here because my ship demanded it, and I would rather ask for help than pretend I do not need it." Kestra tilted her head slightly, an expression I could not fully read. "Many of your kind believe asking is a weakness." "Some do," I said. "I believe the opposite. It takes more effort to trust someone who might refuse you than to simply take what you want by force. I am trusting you now, Commander Vol, because I have no other option, and because I believe you are better than the stories some of my people tell about your kind." For a long moment, no one spoke. The wind moved across the platform, carrying a faint metallic smell from the towers around us. My crew stood behind me, silent, waiting. Finally, Kestra motioned to her officers, and they lowered whatever devices they had been holding. "Your ship will be repaired in our outer yard. Your crew will be given rest and food. This is not forgiveness for your people's history. It is recognition that you, Captain Bennett, chose differently than we expected." Relief spread through my chest, though I kept my expression steady. "Thank you, Commander." "You do not thank me yet," she said. "You will sit with our council and explain why a human ship entered our home and ask for mercy instead of demanding passage through force. They will want to hear this from you directly." I nodded, because there was nothing else to do. I followed her through wide stone halls filled with quiet conversation and curious glances, every one of them studying the strange sight of a human walking freely through their most protected city. Inside the council chamber, I told them everything: the gravity trap, the choice to trust rather than fight, the belief that respect could survive even between two species who had once seen each other as enemies. It was not a perfect speech. It did not need to be. It only needed to be honest. Hours later, the Solace lifted off from Threll Prime, fully repaired, engines humming steady beneath us. My crew sat quietly around me, worn out but alive, watching the planet shrink behind us through the front window. "They still think humans are dangerous," Amelia said softly. "Maybe," I said, watching the stars return around us. "But tonight, they learned we are not only that. Sometimes strength is not about the fight you win. It is about the trust you are willing to risk everything for." Daniel guided the ship steady through open space, and behind us, The invisible line that had never once bent for any human ship began, quietly, to change.